All right. Monthly review, July opening. Take one.
You want to come all the way up? Do you want to come all the way up?
Hello, people of YouTube, and welcome to the monthly review of 2022. I can just see that in the corner of my eye. Signa, why are we in a field?
Because we're on holiday, and that's what people do when they're on holiday, I think.
Wait. We've got 3 weeks off, and we are going on a sort of big road trip situation. We are first driving north from Trondheim, and we'll be camping sort of along the way to a cabin on an island. Then we'll be there for about a week, and then we will do the same way, but southbound, more camping, more driving, more cabins. And that's our summer plan, basically. That should fill about 3 weeks, and then in early August, it's back to work for us.
Saga's being very cuddly, I like it.
She is being very cuddly.
She's very tired at the moment because we've had 2 days of tracking, like when you track human scent in the forest along a trail, and Saga was really good at it, which was really fun because it's the first time we've tried it. It's the first time I've ever done it with a dog, and it's the first time Saga's ever done it, and it went really well, and she had really good progression. But now she's very tired because she's been sniffing all day. I think she's looking forward to sleeping in the tent.
Yeah, I think so too. And to be fair, so am I. That looks pretty. I'm gonna film that now.
Okay.
There's some sunbeams over there. Good.
Bye, Saga. Bye, you two. Why, hello there.
Hello.
Welcome to our campsite for the evening.
Yeah, do you want to explain what our campsite for the evening is?
We've just come back from a lovely hike. This is our campsite. It's a quarry.
Yeah, the gate was open. There were no signs that said that we could not be present, so we're present.
Yep. Yeah, our tent is up there on a patch of not quite grass. Not right by the edge because that seemed dangerous, so slightly inward.
Yeah, I mean, it is an inactive quarry, so for all we know, this shit is a little bit brittle, and we don't want to take too much risk. I think the biggest risk right now is either that tomorrow morning when we want to drive off again, the gate is closed, or we realize that it isn't inactive and we are awoken by diggers and shit.
That would be something. We've been camping for 3 nights now.
what are the overall feelings? So, where were we last night?
Last night we were at Breivika on Dønna, which is a beach that I have grown up visiting while we've been here. My grandparents have a cabin at Dønna, so we've been here almost every summer in my childhood. And now we are back.
And Breivika is in the shadow of a mountain called Dønnamannen. The Dønna Man, because from, well, our view from the window right now is the silhouette of a man's face.
Yeah.
Which is about 800 meters tall and rises right out of the sea, which is kind of spectacular. And we
looks like that.
Yeah. And we were sleeping right next to him, which was kind of cool. So we've camped for 3 nights now. We are currently at your mom's cabin. And what's going to happen here?
Sleep, hopefully.
Yeah, at least for the first night, because we are currently alone. Tomorrow we are joined by a bunch of family. So probably not much sleep then, because there will also be a 3-year-old toddler. We're gonna try to relax, I think.
I think we need to. Otherwise we'll just not be able to get back south.
Very true.
We have been at Dønna, at my mum's cabin, and now we're going home to Trondheim because we need to wash clothes and air out our sleeping bags and tent and things, and then we're heading further south.
And sleep in our own bed for a
sleep
few
in our own
nights.
bed. That'd be nice.
That will be very pleasant.
Saga needs to chill for a day.
Yes, she's had many impressions and not much sleep,
Yes.
so she needs some rest. And then we are going south a bit quicker and sooner than we initially thought we might, because the weather up here is not fantastic, so we are essentially sort of chasing the sun, and the further south we go, the warmer it will get. So we might get some sort of sense of summer these 3 weeks, because we haven't yet.
Well, we're going to the mountains still. We'll be at 1,100 feet above sea level, so
Feet,
meters, whatever. So
USA.
something about speaking in English makes me say feet instead of meters.
What was your favorite thing at Dønna? You've asked me about mine already, earlier, off camera. Not all things have to be filmed.
I think I really liked the bacon pancakes that we made the first morning. They were very tasty. And I really liked going fishing with my brother and you, and just being silly in a boat for a couple of hours and fucking up all of Mum's fishing equipment and doing it all wrong.
Yeah, that did not go great. We are currently looking at the GPS and we don't have to do anything for the next 245 kilometers.
Yeah, there's a roundabout in 245 kilometers. Otherwise,
and
just,
then it will be straight again.
just keep going. Just keep driving into the horizon. And when you're at the horizon, just keep driving to the next horizon.
this sort of framed competently. Mostly.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Can I eat the stuff that we're holding while we hold it?
Sure. Where are we?
I'm eating things.
Yes, whose choice is that?
You explain it.
Okay, we're at the cabin. Our mental capacity is in great shape. Yes, right. We are at the cabin. We drove down here in 2 days. We planned to do it in 3 days with some camping in between, but we had 2 terrible nights of sleep. So now we're here instead, because we figured if we go camping 3 nights in a row and it's terrible 3 nights in a row, we might just murder each other. And the second night wasn't even camping, really. We stayed in a little cabin on a campsite, which was nice. It was a lovely area, but we slept horribly.
Yeah, Saga was being a complete nightmare. She woke us up 5-6 times throughout the night, barking at people walking by the cabin outside, or phantom sounds that she thought she heard that didn't actually exist, and similar.
Yeah, not ideal. And the first night we were sleeping on the beach, which was really cool, but the beach was inhabited by sheep. So we had sheep bells around our tent sort of throughout the night. Yeah, you know how you have the storm lines on the tent? One of the sheep stumbled on one of those while we were inside the tent.
And Saga was like, what the fuck? Our little house, it's falling down.
Then when we were driving down, we wanted to get a new mosquito candle because we basically burned through our one and only mosquito candle while camping. So we stopped in, what was the place called again?
Oppdal.
Oppdal. And they have many good stores in Oppdal. So first we went to a drugstore to see if they might have any mosquito candles. We ended up with this. Tiny travel bottles
They're very cute.
of conditioner and shampoo.
You're holding one of them the wrong way around. You could never be a makeup YouTuber.
I don't want to be. Then we went to a sports and outdoorsy store because we figured if the drugstore doesn't have mosquito candles, they might. And that's where things went wrong.
Yeah. First off, you had destroyed our sporks by trying to use them as cooking utensils. That's the one. So we got new sporks.
These are titanium.
These are indeed made out of titanium. They're only 18 grams.
Which we couldn't really care less about because we're driving everywhere, but it's fun, I guess.
But then to also solve the problem of Tom is currently using our sporks as cooking utensils, we bought some wooden cooking utensils. And then Tom made an offhand comment about the fact that he doesn't really like the plates that we currently have. And so I just couldn't resist, and so we got some wooden plates because they were pretty. And I think Tom very much regretted having said the fact that he didn't really like our plates.
Yep. And then we finally got to a store that actually had candles, but we also bought candy.
We went to a store called Europris, which is the kind of store where you think, if you ever stop and think, where the fuck does one buy blank? Usually it's Europris.
Yes, exactly.
Which means they have everything you don't need.
But also the things you do need. All in all, a successful trip to buy a single candle.
Yes. Don't forget that we also went to a bakery and bought way too many baked goods.
Yes, but for reasons that should not have to be explained, they can no longer be shown. What are our plans for while we are at the cabin?
Try and get some energy back. We are absolutely exhausted. I thought we were supposed to like gain energy from being on holiday, but it seems that we just keep losing it.
Drained.
Yeah. I'm so tired.
Yes, so am I. So we will be inside the cabin a lot, I imagine.
Yes.
It's cows.
Cows.
They are indeed in the middle of the road and they're crossing.
Guys, this is for cars, not for cows.
Oh, what are we doing?
I don't know. There's just a car there and a car here.
Oh, this cow's crossing in front of this camper van now.
Yeah, That's just not gonna happen, camperman dude.
Very dumb.
Oh, there's cows behind us now that are also crossing the road. Please stop, other camperman dude. You're gonna kill a cow. There's a cow! Oh my god, he almost killed a cow. That cow is now walking in the middle of the road! Stop! Oh, that camperman's had enough of that cow. Oh my god, Tom, there's so many cows! How? Okay, I'm just gonna...
Yeah.
Bye, cowies. Bye, bye. Thank you for causing chaos.
Good. We have come to the end of our camping trip. Camping, cabin, whatever. We've come to the end of our summer holiday. And we are having one last meal in a bag before we head home. What are your highlights of the trip, the 3-week outing?
I mean, this morning wasn't bad. Waking up to stunning views over a lake at like 11 to 1200 meters.
I think that was my location highlight as well. Folderes. It's very pretty.
It is very pretty.
Very wide and open, and with very spectacular mountains in the distance. Not unlike this here.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I also really enjoyed camping on the beach at Dønna because we did that when I was a kid, and I wanted to do it again for ages, and we finally did.
What were your lowlights of the trip?
That's a good question. I almost feel like I can't quite remember them, but I mean, I had a sob on a mountain hill.
Oh yeah.
Because Saga was being a bitch, and it was still quite far till the car, and we were going downhill, and she was pulling really hard, and I was trying to make her stop, but she was being a teenagery bitch and running after birds, and I almost died like 3 times trying to go down a mountain.
Yeah. Had your hip turned out of its socket.
Yeah, that was kind of the final straw. She pulled at exactly the wrong moment so that my whole leg twisted and I hurt my hip. So then I just went and had a sob on a mountain.
But mostly you've been good.
Mostly
if not a bit over energetic.
Perfectly all right. I'm not sure I'll go so far as to say good.
Mostly you've been perfectly all right, Sagi.
Yes, that's what it's like to take a 1-year-old dog on vacation.
Yeah.
What was your holiday lowlight?
I didn't have my motorcycle with me. I would have been very good. I would have loved to do some bopping around in the very nice regions we have been in. Next time, dear viewers. Yeah, I don't know. Probably the same. It's not great when you break down on a mountain. But all in all, a moderate success.
Yes.
I think. To be repeated.
Definitely.
And to be improved upon in one way or another.
Yes.
I have bought myself a motorcycle. This is a Honda CRF 250L. It is a 250-ish cc dual sport, which means it is good for terrain such as this, gravel paths and shit. It's not particularly powerful. It has about 25, I want to say, horsepower. From the factory it comes with 22, but this one has an annoyingly loud exhaust pipe on it. That wasn't my choice, but the previous owners, don't crucify me for that. The rest of the bike though is not annoying. I am loving it extremely much. It's the first motorcycle I have owned myself. It's not my dream motorcycle, but it is an excellent motorcycle to get started on, to learn on, to ride gravel roads on, which here near Trondheim we have so many of. So something that can go off-road kind of is a must if you want to enjoy all of the area around here. And trust me, you do, because the area around here is gorgeous. Can you tell I'm a bit excited? What else is there to say about it as well? It's got sort of semi-off-road, semi-on-road tires, which I like a lot. That means that I don't feel endangered when I leave the gravel roads. There's very little fuel that goes into it, only about 8 liters, so my range, I need to be careful when I go on longer trips. Right. One other thing I could mention is that I've ordered some stuff for it. I have received but not yet mounted a phone mount so I can navigate places, and I have ordered a little windscreen so that I can sit in slightly more comfort on longer trips. Because Frank is coming over in August and he is driving his motorcycle all the way up to us in Trondheim. It's a 3-day journey just to get to us. So when he gets here, he'll be here for a week and we want to do a bit more long distance around the area. So I've ordered a bigger windscreen. Maybe if I decide I want to keep this bike for a bit, I will put on a bigger gas tank so that my range anxiety decreases a bit. But otherwise, as a starting platform, I am exceptionally stoked. So, like I said in the last monthly review, expect, while summer and early autumn is lasting, a bit of motorcycling in every monthly review. I won't overdo it. I know you guys are mostly not here for the motorcycling stuff, but I certainly am. Anyway, I think that's enough about the motorcycle itself. I love it, but it's very simple. Let's go back to about a month ago and take a little ride around Jonsvatnet. Before we talk about Jonsvatnet, I want to talk about Hylvalnet, which is the little place that you just saw me standing in, ranting about my motorcycle. The reason I want to bring this up is that somehow this has become our default outdoorsy hangout spot. This wasn't quite intentional, but ever since we were shown it by Signe's family in January, we've been coming back here quite a lot. So you've seen it in January when we went out and grilled hot dogs on an open fire in the snow, which was lovely. You've seen it last month when Signe and I tried out our camping gear for the first time. You're seeing it this month, and you'll be seeing it next month once again. It's a lovely spot, but I didn't think when coming here in January that it was going to be our default go-to place to grill and hang out and enjoy nature. It is lovely though. The lake is very pretty, the shelter is very useful, there's a picnic table just down the coastline, and it is separated from the real world by a little private toll road, so it's always kind of quiet because I guess people don't want to bother paying the toll. Anyway, leaving Hylvalnet, which is on the way to Jonsvatnet, we are now riding around Jonsvatnet. And this place makes for the best little motorcycling lap. Sometimes I even tack it onto the commute back from the office to our house. It takes the commute up from about 15 minutes to 45, but it also basically makes the commute not a commute, just a nice afternoon ride. Not this time though. What we're watching right now is literally my second time on this motorcycle. Very carefully creeping around the corners, very slowly trundling on the dirt roads, getting a feel for the machine. It's kind of funny watching myself ride like that just 2 months later and about 2,000 kilometers in. For example, I really used to do something that's called lugging the engine, letting it lope along in way too high a gear at way too low an RPM, just because revving it up felt kind of unnerving. And to be fair to my 2 months ago self, the Honda doesn't have a tachometer, so I will never actually know where in the rev range I am precisely. but you get a feel for it, and I've definitely learned that the middle of the rev range is much smoother and much more tractable than the very low end. I want to reiterate that this bike is not fast. Quite often you'll hear reviewers say about a motorcycle that this bike is not fast, but it's fast enough to get you into trouble. This bike isn't even that. It will accelerate up to about 80 kilometers an hour with the enthusiasm of a puppy, because it's lightweight and stupidly short geared. But it runs out of steam by 120, and to be fair, it is wildly uncomfortable at 120, when its low weight and buzzy single cylinder make you want to just take it slow and drop back down to 80 after a few minutes. Lucky for me, the only 100 plus kilometer an hour stretch of road within a 100 kilometer radius only lasts a few minutes anyway. I spiraled a bit into a bike review here, which wasn't the point, so Jonsvannet, beautiful area, close to the city, great combination of tarmac and gravel, tight corners, and no traffic whatsoever. I actually saw my first 2 wild moose here just a few days ago, so bonus points to the area for that. The only downside about enjoying this area is that it's a drinking water reserve. It basically hydrates the entire region, and that means that it has to be clean, obviously, which means that you can't camp here, or can't light fires, or can't swim in it. It's the lake equivalent of art in a museum. Looking only, no touching. Spectacular for a motorcycle ride though. Alright, let's go back to the future, where Signe and I were sitting on some mountainside and actually get to the outro of this record-breakingly long monthly review. Well, people of YouTube, that was the monthly review for July 2022. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to push all the positive buttons down below, and we'll see you in August. Ciao.
Bye. Oh, bye. Who are we saying goodbye to? Are there people?
There are people on the other side of the screen, Saggy.
Mm-hmm. Oh god.
Eagleproducts.no.
Oi, don't move. No, guys. Ass.
That's very weird.